There is a moment, a very precise, almost imperceptible moment when the sky stops being just a sky and becomes a message. And tonight, under this pink full moon, you are not here by accident. No, listen closely. You were called. Something ancient, something patient, something that has been waiting beyond time itself has aligned the currents of your life to bring you to this exact second. You may not understand it yet, but your soul does. It's why you feel that subtle tension in your chest, that quiet anticipation, that sense that something is about to change whether you are ready or not. And if you feel this, if something in you is stirring, then this message is meant for you. But understand this, awakening is not just about seeing signs in the sky. It is about activating what already exists within you. And that is why something else has been placed on your path. Not randomly, not casually, but deliberately. There is a transmission, a deeper key, something designed to unlock the part of your mind that has been waiting beneath your current awareness. It is called How to Awaken the Rich Mind Within You. And if these words are reaching you right now, it is not just an audiobook. It is a doorway, a guide for those who are ready to move beyond limitation, beyond scarcity, beyond the identity they were conditioned to accept because abundance, clarity, power, they are not given, they are remembered. And this is where many stop. They feel the shift, but they don't step into it. They sense the calling, but they don't follow it. Do not let that be you. If something in you recognizes this, if your intuition is already leaning toward it, then follow that signal. The path has already been placed for you. You will find it waiting in the description and in the first pinned comment exactly where it is meant to be. So stay here, stay present, because what unfolds next will not just explain what is happening. It will reveal who you are becoming. And if your spirit recognizes this call, mark your presence below, not as a habit, but as a declaration, because the universe is always watching who responds and who is ready to rise. The pink full moon is not just an event. It is an opening, a threshold, a veil thinning so subtly that most will never notice it. But you are not most people, are you? No, you have always felt things differently, always sensed what others overlook. And that is why this portal has revealed itself to you now. It does not tear the sky open with noise or spectacle. It whispers. It hums beneath reality, vibrating at a frequency only those who are ready can perceive. And as it opens, it begins to pull gently at first, almost like a memory you can't quite place, but stronger with each passing hour. You may feel restless, emotional, even unsettled. That is not chaos. That is alignment. That is the universe rearranging the unseen architecture of your life, preparing you to step into something irreversible. Because once this portal fully opens, there is no going back to who you were. You might be wondering why you out of billions. Why are you the one feeling this shift, hearing this call, sensing this strange magnetic pull towards something unseen? The answer is not random. It never was. You were chosen because you have already walked through fire that others could not survive. You have endured confusion, isolation, and moments where nothing made sense. And yet you remained. Even when you doubted yourself, even when you felt lost, something within you refused to extinguish. That something is what this portal responds to. It recognizes you. It remembers you. And now under this moon, it is activating something that has been dormant inside you for far too long. This is not a coincidence. This is a continuation. A next chapter that has been waiting for your awareness to catch up with your destiny. Have you noticed it? That strange, almost electric feeling beneath your skin. The way your thoughts seem louder, sharper, more intense than usual. The way your dreams have started to carry messages instead of randomness. This is not your imagination. This is the energy of the portal interacting with your consciousness. It is amplifying everything, your intuition, your emotions, your awareness, because it is preparing you to see what has always been hidden in plain sight. And yes, it can feel overwhelming because clarity often arrives before understanding. You are beginning to feel truths that your mind has not yet learned how to interpret. And that gap, that space between feeling and knowing, is where transformation begins. Stay there. Do not run from it. Because what you are feeling right now is the first undeniable sign that you are entering the final stage of your ascension. Something has shifted, hasn't it? The places, the conversations, the routines that once felt normal now feel distant, almost like you are watching your own life from the outside. You try to engage the same way to care about the same things, but it feels forced, unnatural. That is not you losing yourself. That is you outgrowing what was never meant to contain you forever. The portal does not open for who you were. It opens for who you are becoming. And as it does, it begins to dissolve the illusions that once kept you comfortable. This is why things feel unfamiliar, why connections feel misaligned, why you may even feel alone at times. But listen carefully. This is not loss. This is initiation. The universe is clearing space for something that matches your next level. And yes, it may feel uncomfortable, but transformation always does before it reveals its purpose. You may have noticed yourself pulling back, not out of anger, not out of bitterness, but out of something deeper, something quieter, a detachment that you can't fully explain. It's as if your soul has already moved ahead while your physical life is still catching up. Conversations feel heavier, distractions feel empty, and things that once held your attention now pass right through you. This is not apathy. This is alignment recalibrating your focus. The portal is asking you to release what no longer resonates. Not by force, but by awareness. You are not meant to carry everything with you into this next phase. Some things must fall away naturally, gently, almost silently, so that you can move forward without resistance. And the more you allow this detachment, the clearer your path becomes. There was a time when you questioned your inner voice, when you second-guessed your instincts, wondering if they were real or just imagination. But now something has changed. That voice is louder, clearer, impossible to ignore. It interrupts your thoughts, guides your decisions, warns you before things happen. This is not coincidence. This is activation. The portal is amplifying your intuitive channel, strengthening your connection to something beyond logic, beyond explanation. And the more you listen, the stronger it becomes. But here is the truth. Most are not ready to hear. Intuition is not gentle when it awakens fully. It becomes direct, persistent, even uncomfortable at times because it no longer asks for permission. It guides. And if you are feeling this, if your inner knowing is becoming undeniable, then you are already stepping deeper into the ascension process. You may find yourself craving silence, seeking moments alone, withdrawing from noise without fully understanding why. This is not isolation. This is preparation. Because within solitude, the noise of the external world fades and the truth of your internal world begins to rise. The portal requires clarity, and clarity cannot exist in constant distraction. So you are being guided inward, not to escape, but to remember, to reconnect with the version of you that existed before expectations, before conditioning, before the world told you who to be. And in that quiet, you begin to hear something else, something subtle, something ancient, something that feels both unfamiliar and deeply known at the same time. That is your soul speaking, and it has been waiting for this moment. There are moments now sudden, intense, almost overwhelming, where emotions rise without explanation. One minute you feel steady. The next you are flooded with feelings you cannot trace back to a specific cause. This is not instability. This is release. The portal is pulling unresolved energy to the surface, not to break you, but to free you. Everything you have suppressed, ignored, or carried silently is now being brought into your awareness so it can finally be processed and released. And yes, it can feel heavy, but within that heaviness is transformation. Because what you release, you no longer carry. And what you no longer carry no longer controls you. This is purification at a soul level, and it is necessary for what comes next. You are not at the beginning anymore. That part of your journey, the confusion, the searching, the questioning, it has already shaped you into who you needed to become. What you are stepping into now is different, more intense, more direct. This is the final stage of ascension, where everything becomes real, where illusions dissolve completely, where your path is no longer hidden but revealed with undeniable clarity. And the pink full moon, this moment, this portal is the catalyst. You are not just witnessing it. You are part of it. And as this energy continues to rise, as the portal opens wider, the next signs will begin to reveal themselves in ways you cannot ignore. Something strange is happening with time, and you have felt it. Moments stretch longer than they should, while entire days seem to vanish without warning. You look back and wonder how so much shifted so quickly, or how nothing appears to have changed at all. This is not confusion, it is distortion. The portal is bending your perception of time because you are no longer anchored solely in the linear. You are stepping into a space where past, present, and future begin to overlap, where intuition can feel ahead and memory can feel alive again. And in this bending, something profound occurs. You begin to realize that you are not just moving through time. Time is responding to you. This is one of the quiet awakenings that signals your transition. Because once you notice this, once you feel it, you cannot unsee it. And the deeper you step into this awareness, the less control the old structure of reality has over you. At first it was subtle, repeating numbers, familiar patterns, moments that felt like coincidence. But now it is undeniable. You think of something and it appears. You question something and an answer arrives without effort. You cross paths with people, symbols or messages that feel too precise to be random. This is not chance. This is alignment revealing itself. The portal is synchronizing your external world with your internal state, creating a bridge between what you feel and what you experience. And the more aware you become, the more these synchronicities intensify. They are not just signs. They are confirmations, evidence that you are exactly where you are meant to be, even if your mind still struggles to understand it. So pay attention, because every repetition, every pattern, every coincidence is the universe speaking directly to you in a language only your awareness can decode. There is a feeling persistent, unshakable, like standing at the edge of something vast. You cannot see it fully. You cannot name it clearly, but you know it is there. A shift, a moment, an event that has not yet revealed itself but is already approaching. This anticipation is not anxiety, it is recognition. Your soul senses what your mind has not yet processed. And this is what makes it so intense, because you are feeling the future before it arrives. The portal amplifies this awareness, pulling you closer to the moment of transformation while allowing you to feel its energy in advance. This is why rest feels difficult, why your thoughts feel charged, why stillness carries a hidden tension. Because something is indeed coming, and you are not just witnessing it, you are being prepared for it. There are things you once believed without question, ideas, perspectives, even identities that felt solid, permanent. But now they are dissolving, cracking beneath the weight of your expanding awareness. You may feel uncertain, even disoriented at times, as if the foundation you once stood on is no longer stable. But listen carefully. This is not destruction. This is revelation, because what is falling away was never fully true to begin with. The portal does not destroy truth. It exposes illusion. And as those illusions fade, you are left with something far more powerful. Clarity. Raw, unfiltered, undeniable clarity. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but it is also liberating. Because once you see through something, you can never be controlled by it again. This may be one of the most unsettling shifts, and yet one of the most important. You are beginning to see. Not just what people say, but what they mean. Not just how they act, but what they carry beneath the surface. Masks become transparent. Intentions become visible. Energy speaks louder than words ever could. And this awareness changes everything. You may find yourself pulling away from certain individuals, not out of judgment, but out of understanding, because you can no longer pretend not to notice what your soul clearly recognizes. This is not a gift everyone receives. It is a responsibility, and it comes when you are ready to navigate reality without illusion. The portal is sharpening your perception, not to isolate you, but to align you with truth. With this clarity comes a weight, a depth of awareness that can feel heavy at times, because once you see, once you understand, you cannot return to ignorance. And that can create moments of loneliness, moments where you feel disconnected from those who have not yet reached this level of perception. But this is not punishment. This is expansion. You are not losing connection. You are refining it. You are being guided toward people, spaces, and experiences that resonate with who you are becoming, not who you were. And yes, The transition can feel isolating, but it is temporary because what you are aligning with is something far greater than what you are leaving behind. There was a time when your inner voice was quiet, subtle, easy to ignore, but now it speaks with authority. It does not beg for your attention, it demands it. It interrupts your patterns, redirects your choices, and challenges anything that does not align with your truth. This is not external influence. This is your higher self stepping forward, no longer waiting for permission to guide you. And the more you listen, the more precise it becomes. This is the voice that sees beyond fear, beyond doubt, beyond limitation. And it is leading you somewhere specific, somewhere intentional, somewhere that has been waiting for you long before you became aware of it. Things may feel unpredictable right now. Plans shifting, unexpected changes, doors closing without explanation, but what feels like disruption is actually precision. The portal is not random, it is deliberate. It is adjusting your path in real time, removing what no longer aligns and guiding you toward what does. You may not understand every change as it happens, but later you will see the pattern. You will recognize the timing, and you will realize that nothing was accidental. Everything was part of a larger alignment that your human perspective could not fully grasp in the moment. Trust this process even when it feels uncertain, because uncertainty is often the surface layer of transformation. There comes a point in this journey where resistance no longer feels possible, not because you are forced, but because something within you finally understands. You stop questioning every shift. You stop fighting every change. You begin to flow, and in that surrender, everything accelerates because resistance slows transformation, but acceptance amplifies it. This is where the portal truly begins to open for you. Not when you struggle against it, but when you align with it, when you allow it to guide you instead of trying to control it. And in that moment, you step fully into the current of your own becoming. You are closer than you think, closer than you realize. Everything you have felt, everything you have questioned, everything you have endured has brought you to this exact threshold. And right now, you are standing at the edge of something irreversible. The final stage is not approaching. It is already unfolding. The signs are not random. They are confirmation. And the pink full moon, this portal, is not just opening around you. It is opening within you. The next phase will not ask if you are ready. It will reveal that you already are. And what comes next will change everything you thought you knew about yourself, your path, and your purpose. There will come a moment, perhaps it has already brushed against you, where reality itself begins to feel unfamiliar, not in a way that frightens you, but in a way that makes you pause. Colors seem sharper, silence feels louder, and ordinary moments carry an unusual depth, as if something is hidden just beneath the surface. You may look around and feel as though you are seeing everything for the first time, or perhaps for the last time in the way you once knew it. This is not illusion, it is awakening. The portal is altering your perception, allowing you to experience reality beyond its conditioned filters. You are not losing your grip, you are expanding it. And in this expansion, the world no longer appears as it once did, because you are no longer who you once were. You may have tried quietly, subtly to hold on to what feels familiar, to maintain some sense of control as everything begins to shift around you. But control in this phase becomes impossible to sustain. Plans dissolve, expectations unravel, outcomes refuse to obey your intentions. And this can feel unsettling, even frustrating. But listen carefully. This is not chaos. This is liberation, because control was never your power. It was your illusion of safety. The portal is dismantling that illusion so you can step into something far more real, alignment. And alignment does not require force. It flows, it unfolds, it reveals. The moment you release the need to control is the moment you begin to truly see. Fragments may begin to surface, not always as clear memories, but as feelings, impressions, moments that seem to belong to something beyond your current life. You may encounter places, people, or experiences that feel strangely familiar, as if you have known them before. This is not imagination. This is remembrance. The portal is thinning the boundaries between what you know and what you have always known. It is allowing deeper layers of your consciousness to rise. Layers that carry wisdom, experiences, and truths that were not accessible before. And as these fragments return, they bring with them a sense of recognition, a quiet knowing that your journey did not begin where you thought it did and will not end where you once believed it would. Your body knows. Long before your mind catches up, your body feels it. The sudden waves of energy, the fatigue that comes without reason, the bursts of clarity followed by moments of stillness. You may feel pressure in your chest, warmth in your spine, a tingling awareness that moves through you like a current. This is not random. This is integration. The portal is not just shifting your awareness, it is recalibrating your entire system. Every layer of you is being adjusted to hold a frequency you have never carried before. And this requires release, adaptation, transformation at the deepest level. Do not fear these sensations. They are not signs of imbalance. They are signs of expansion. There was a time when you felt separate from others, from the world, from something greater that you could sense but not fully reach. But now that distance is dissolving. You begin to feel connected in ways that are difficult to explain. Moments of stillness reveal a quiet unity, a sense that everything is part of something vast and interconnected. You may feel the emotions of others more deeply, sense the energy of spaces, understand without words. This is not sensitivity. It is awareness expanding beyond the boundaries of the individual self. The portal is dissolving the illusion of separation, allowing you to experience reality as it truly is interconnected, responsive, alive. And once you feel this even briefly, it changes everything. As you move deeper into this transformation, something will try to stop you. Not externally, but internally. Fear, doubt, old patterns rising one last time, attempting to anchor you to what is familiar. You may question everything, wonder if you are imagining it, if you are losing yourself. But this is not regression. It is resistance making its final attempt to survive. Because transformation threatens what is comfortable, it dissolves what is known, and fear will always try to protect what it understands, even if it no longer serves you. This is the moment where many turn back, but you are not many. You have come too far to retreat now, and deep down you know that. Even in the presence of doubt, there is something else, something quieter but stronger. A knowing that does not argue, does not panic, does not need to prove itself. It simply exists. And when you listen to it, even for a moment, everything becomes clear again. This knowing is not external. It is not taught. It is remembered. It is the part of you that has always understood your path even when your mind could not. And as the portal continues to open, this knowing becomes your anchor. Not control, not logic, but truth. And truth does not need to be loud to be powerful. Things are beginning to happen faster, aren't they? Thoughts turning into reality with less delay. Intentions shaping outcomes more directly. Even small shifts in your mindset creating noticeable changes in your external world. This is not coincidence. This is alignment increasing your influence over reality. The portal amplifies your state of being, reflecting it back to you with greater precision and speed. And this is where responsibility deepens, because what you hold within you now experience without. Your focus becomes your direction. Your energy becomes your environment. And the more aware you are of this, the more intentional your existence becomes. You are not just experiencing this shift. You are part of it, a participant in something larger than your individual life. You may begin to sense that your presence, your awareness, your transformation is connected to something collective, that your growth is not isolated but contributes to a greater unfolding. This is not ego, it is purpose. And purpose does not always arrive as a clear mission or defined path. Sometimes it begins as a feeling, a quiet understanding that you are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to do, even if it does not yet make sense. And that understanding becomes your direction. You are standing at the edge now, not approaching, not preparing, but standing. Everything you have felt, everything you have released, everything you have questioned has brought you here. And there is no return to who you were before this moment. The portal is fully active. The signs are complete. The final stage is not something you will enter. It is something you are already within. And what comes next is not about becoming someone new. It is about fully embodying who you have always been beneath everything that was never truly you. This is where the shift becomes undeniable. This is where everything changes, not outside of you first, but within. There is a quiet moment almost invisible to the outside world, when you realize something irreversible has already happened, not with noise, not with announcement, but with certainty. You look back at who you were, at how you once thought, reacted, believed, and it feels distant, not wrong, just no longer you. And in that realization, something settles within you. A calm, grounded awareness that you cannot return to that version of yourself. Even if you tried, this is not loss. This is evolution becoming permanent. The portal has done its work in ways you are only beginning to understand. And now you are no longer transitioning. You have crossed quietly, completely, irrevocably. You begin to notice something else, something subtle but powerful. The need for approval, for validation, for others to understand or confirm your path begins to fade. Not because you reject others, but because you no longer rely on them to define you. There is a new center within you, a stability that does not depend on agreement or recognition. You move differently now, guided by something internal, something self-sustaining. And this changes how you interact with the world. You no longer shrink to fit expectations. You no longer explain what cannot be explained. You simply are. And in that presence there is strength, quiet, undeniable strength, where once you may have chased opportunities, people, outcomes, now something shifts. You stop reaching outward with urgency and instead things begin to come toward you. Not all at once, not always in the way you expect, but with a noticeable difference. Alignment replaces effort, flow replaces force, and what arrives feels different, more precise, more connected to who you are now, not who you used to be. This is the natural response of reality. When you step into alignment, you no longer pursue, you resonate. And what resonates finds you. Even with the intensity of this transformation, even with the unknown still unfolding, there is something else emerging. A peace, not constant, not always at the surface, but present. A stillness that exists beneath your thoughts, beneath your emotions, beneath the movement of everything around you. And when you touch it, even briefly, it feels familiar, as if it has always been there, waiting beneath the noise. This peace is not something you create. It is something you uncover. And as you continue through this final stage, it becomes more accessible, more stable, more real. Not because the world becomes quieter, but because you do. This is where everything starts to come together, not in a dramatic external way, but internally. The awareness, the intuition, the clarity, the release, all of it begins to integrate into a single unified state of being. You are no longer shifting between old and new. You are becoming consistent in who you are now. And this integration is what stabilizes your transformation. It allows you to move forward without fragmentation, without confusion, without needing to constantly question where you stand because you know not intellectually, but completely. This is the beginning of embodiment where what you understand becomes how you exist. You may not notice it immediately, but others will. Something about you has changed, not necessarily in appearance, but in presence. The way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you exist in a space. It holds weight now, not forceful, not overwhelming, but undeniable. This is what happens when alignment stabilizes within you. You no longer need to assert yourself. Your presence communicates everything, and those who are aware will feel it. Those who are not may not understand it, but either way it is real, and it is a reflection of the transformation you have completed. Reality responds differently now. Situations, interactions, even challenges begin to reflect your internal state with greater clarity. When you are grounded, things flow. When you are unsettled, disruptions appear not as punishment but as feedback, immediate, precise feedback. This is one of the final calibrations of ascension. The alignment between inner and outer becomes undeniable, and this gives you something powerful, awareness of your influence. You begin to see how your state shapes your experience. Not theoretically, but directly. And with that awareness comes responsibility. because now you know there may still be a few things, subtle attachments, lingering patterns, quiet dependencies that remain. And now they surface not to stay but to be released. These are the final threads connecting you to what you have already outgrown. And unlike before, this release feels different, less emotional, less resistant, more clear. You see them for what they are. You understand why they existed. And you let them go, not with struggle, but with completion. This is the final clearing. The last step before full alignment stabilizes completely within you. For so long, there may have been moments where you felt disconnected, uncertain, searching for something you could not define. But now something becomes clear. You were never lost, not once. Every confusion, every delay, every detour was part of the path, not deviations from it. And this realization changes how you see everything that has happened. It removes regret. It dissolves doubt. It replaces questioning with understanding because you begin to see the pattern, the timing, the precision behind it all. And you recognize something profound. You are always being guided, even when you could not see it. And now the portal begins to close. Not abruptly, not dramatically, but naturally. Its purpose fulfilled, its work complete. But here is what matters. The portal does not take anything with it. When it closes, it leaves everything it activated within you. The awareness, the clarity, the alignment, the transformation. You are not the same person who stood at the beginning of this shift. You cannot return to that state because it no longer exists within you. And as the energy settles, as the intensity softens, what remains is something stable, something real, something that is now you. This is where your role becomes active, not reactive, not waiting, but stepping forward, living from what you now know, acting from what you now feel, aligning your choices with what has been revealed to you. Because ascension is not just an experience, it is a way of being. And now you carry it with you in every moment, in every decision, in every direction you choose to move. This is your invitation, not from outside, but from within. And even now, as this moment settles, the call remains subtle but present because not everyone will hear this. Not everyone will feel it, but you did, you stayed, you listened, you moved through it, and that matters. So if something in you recognizes what has just unfolded, if you feel this shift, this clarity, this quiet certainty, then acknowledge it. Not for others, but for yourself. Mark this moment because this is where everything changed and this is where your next chapter truly begins. This is not the end. It never was. What you have just experienced, what you have felt moving through you. This is only the beginning of a deeper unfolding, because awakening is not a single moment. It is a path. A path that continues to reveal new layers, new truths, new levels of who you are capable of becoming. And now you stand at a choice, not a loud, obvious decision, but a quiet, powerful one. Will you return to what is familiar, or will you step fully into what has been opened within you? Because this energy, this clarity, this alignment you feel right now, it is not meant to fade. It is meant to be anchored, strengthened, expanded into every area of your life. And that is why something has been placed in your path, not as a coincidence, but as a continuation of this very moment. How to awaken the rich mind within you. This is not just an audio book. It is a bridge, a way to take what you have felt here and carry it forward into your reality. To shift not only your awareness, but your mindset, your relationship with abundance, your ability to step into the life that has been waiting for you long before you believed it was possible. Because the truth is, transformation requires more than recognition. It requires integration. And if something within you is still active right now, if you feel that quiet pull, that subtle knowing that there is more for you to step into, then trust that. Do not ignore it. That is not curiosity. That is alignment guiding you. You will find it waiting for you in the description and in the first pinned comment exactly where it is meant to be. Not for everyone, but for those who are ready. And if you have made it this far, if you have stayed, listened, felt this entire transmission unfold within you, then you already know which one you are. So mark this moment. Let your presence be known below, not just as a comment, but as a signal to yourself, to the path, to everything that is aligning around you. Because this is where it begins. Not later, not someday now. And what comes next will meet you at the level you choose to rise into.